And FAO, in partnership with the Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries and Cooperatives, are jointly implementing a 4-year Kenya economic empowerment of women through climate-smart agriculture in arid and semi-arid central areas as project in the ASIL counties of Laikipia, Kitui and West Pokot since 2022. We are set to have a conversation that reflects on the wins, challenges and areas of improvement for this all-important project. I'm joined by Elizabeth Obanda, who is the team leader, Women Economic Empowerment, UN Women Kenya at the UN Women Kenya. John Mutua, CEO, Anglican Development Services Eastern. That is also with us is Luciana Ndila, who is the Director, State Department of Gender. We are very honored to have you on KTN News today. One of our main reasons here is to ensure that Kenyans learn, they're at par, and civic education, sensitization and awareness reaches the grassroots. Let's go straight into it. Looking at, climate smart agriculture, someone would say it's an in thing right now. We're looking at being at par with the climate, not being left behind with the climatic effects at this point in time. Perhaps your introductory remarks as we go into the milestones you have achieved this far to 2024. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Again, my name is Elizabeth Obanda, and I'm the team lead for the Women Economic Empowerment Program for the UN Women. I am very pleased here to be discussing this topic. For women economic empowerment, according to us, is at the center of development. UN Women is not only interested in the women economic empowerment, it is also interested in the leadership of women, whether it's in political spaces or in business. They are also interested in ensuring that women are part of peace processes so that they bring an alternative voice, but they are also interested in ensuring that women are safe from gender-based violence. So with regards to the Women Economic Empowerment Program, and as you say, climate is with us, it is changing, we know it right now. We have gone through all this turbulence around flooding and displacement of families and erosion of food systems. But also we have recently again gone through drought. And so for us, within the UN Women, we developed this program, which is focusing primarily on women in an appreciation of the role that women play within agricultural food systems. So I think I will tell you a little more later, but I am thankful for the role that all our partners have played, for the successes that we have so far noted, and for the need to scale up this program to reach more women.
I'm very honored to also have your partners here. But one more thing before I hear from John is, I've gone deeper into some of the projects you're doing, and it's just not about women. In fact, we're seeing men involved at this point in time, people with disability.
Yes,
all right.
Absolutely. Our target was 80% women, but 20% men, because who are the resource holders? Men are the resource holders. And so it was important that they are part of it, that they don't push back because we're targeting women, but also youth. And so far, we've been very lucky to actually achieve a 46% youth and 9% persons with a disability. It's about inclusion, and it's about leaving no one behind.
Hearing how the head of state does, echo and reiterate on employment, we'll be coming deeper into how the youth are also involved. John Mutua, CEO, Anglican Development Services Eastern. The church is very vital. Every time we talk about communities, the church plays a very, very key role. Please bring us up to speed on why you're in this partnership and how the progress is so far since 2022 and what we're looking forward to in as far as this project is concerned, perhaps to 2026.
Yeah, thank you so much. And once again, I want to appreciate this opportunity so that we can come and have a conversation on this critical thing which is affecting us as humanity. My name is John Mutua, and I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Anglican Development Services Eastern. Anglican Development Services Eastern is the development agency of Anglican Church of Kenya, and we are doing development activities in the counties of Machakos, Makueni, Kitui, Garissa, Wajir, and Mandera. As an organization, of course, we have been in this space for quite some time. And because where we are, every time, as we wake up in the morning, we are seeing the plight of the people. We are seeing the effects of climate change. We have seen women walking long distances to get water from water sources. And as a result of that, we have strategized ourselves so that we can have projects to address the plight of the people. So we have projects cutting across on food security, water, sanitation and hygiene, We have programs cutting on governance and social inclusion. And therefore, because of our strategic niche and where we are located, when UN Women were implementing this project, of course, we got into partnership because we have been in the region and we implemented this project in Kitui County. And the reason is we have been in this region for long, at this place for long. So when they came, we discussed and we agreed that we can undertake this project together. And therefore, we are their local implementing partner in Kitui County.
In Kitui County, I'm curious to understand what happens to Laikipia, West Pokot. Are you also, but you might want to touch on that because I'm seeing among, the other ASIL counties is Laikipia and West Pokot, which you haven't really touched on.
Yeah, yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This project is ideally in 3 counties.
Yes. And
these counties are Kitui, West Pokot, and Laikipia.
Right.
And therefore, there are other 2 partners, which there is a partner in Laikipia and another partner in West Pokot. And SADSC, we are in Kitui County. And therefore, the 3 partners, we are working together to ensure this project is delivered under the leadership of UN Women.
So let me add my voice in terms of who the other partners are.
Right.
So in West Pokot, we work with Village Enterprise. And in Laikipia, we work with Hand in Hand. It is very important for us when we are implementing programs that we have civil society organizations who are on the ground, who have good understanding of the culture, of the language, and are therefore able to interact with the communities effectively. So that's why we select different partners for different regions.
And indeed, if we could have all of them in studio
Yes.
today. But just to get a nutshell of what is happening, we're glad that we have, of course, John here with us. Let's hear from Luciana Ndila, who is the Director, State Department of Gender. When people hear gender, and of course to hear UN Women, they're saying, well, basically, let's just move aside. But you see, in agriculture, even if you look in the past, women greatly contribute to agriculture, especially at the grassroots levels. However, you had that who are the holders of the resources are men. Therefore, we need some sort of coordination here. How is it going so far since 2022 to now?
Okay, I'm Luciana Ndila,
Right.
County Director for Gender. I work for the State Department for Gender, and our core mandate is to empower women socially and economically, and also to limit cases of gender-based violence, which are interconnected. As far as this project, Climate Smart Agriculture, is concerned, women are the ones who produce labor. They do a lot of farm work, but when it comes to benefits, they benefit less. Women do not have power over property. It is controlled by men. Even in decision making at family level, it is the men who go the short. So our role in this project is to make sure that we have emphasized on the reduction of the inequalities and also promote the women to participate actively and also involve the men, male engagement and involvement in the project, because they are the co-decision makers, so that the project can succeed. When it comes to decision making on what crop to plant, if the men are not involved, they may become blockages to the program or project.
Kitui is standing out, Luciana, and
Yes.
I'm looking at some very key significant progress in March 2023. I don't know if you have any particular ones you could highlight it as far as bridging these gaps that you have mentioned between the men and the women in terms of the main person on the ground and the beneficiaries. Just looking at the progress in Kitui alone, March 2023 records. Yes.
It is because we work in collaboration with so many partners, because this project you cannot work alone. We have done a lot of sensitization at the community level. We have had community dialogues where we talk about these things, where we challenge the gender stereotypes, and people have started now seeing the sense in it, even including the men and the leaders and decision makers. And after sensitization, we expect them to change their mindset and start supporting the program. So through the sensitization workshops, training the decision makers, leaders, it has really worked for us. And that synergy of collaboration is the one and the way to go.
Let me come back to Elizabeth. Elizabeth, it's exciting what we're hearing, but looking at some specific outcomes that the entire team is expecting and seeing the increasing inclusion of gender, which you spoke to, in the climate-smart policies and regulations. How are you able to achieve this?
So one of the things that was very important to us is that the voice of the woman is heard, and that the woman is seated at the table where decisions are being made, where policies are being made, and that they are able to influence the county integrated development planning on which has just taken place and which takes place every 5 years, but also that they are able to influence the annual development plans and the budget. And so one of the things that we did was work with groups of women and bring them together and ensure that they're part of the policy-making process. So every time there was meetings were happening, we facilitated them to be seated at the table and to say, the climate is changing. We need information. Therefore, can the county invest in extension officers so that they're able to come to us for purposes of providing information? We need to be able to have, maybe kitchen gardens, each one of us. What kind of facilities or resources do we need for that to happen? So we need water. What kind of resources, what should the government do, the county government do to ensure that we have water, we have infrastructure? So we ensured that the women were part of those decision-making processes, those policy-making processes. Right. And that worked very well. And so actually, if you look at the CIDP that has been passed, quite a bit of it is reflective of what the women desire. It is reflective of what the women design. And for us, that really is important. And the fact that the county was also responsive in listening to the women is very important so that they are able to effectively, allocate the funds that they have. So for us, that's a key thing, that the policies are reflective of climate-smart agriculture. They're talking about technologies that we need in place. If you go to Kitui, they'll tell you that for every ward, they want to have a water system in place. All right. Now that's a gender responsive, gender responsive activity, because it means that water will be close by for women to be able to draw water. Yeah. So there are many things that are, we don't want to go into individuals, but let me tell you, yes, the government of Kitui County has put more money in agricultural production, for instance, which is very important. Yeah, they have put more money into water, which is also very important, and we have done a lot of trainings, not only for communities, but also for the county, in terms of what is gender responsive. Right. Yes, what does that mean? What should a gender responsive budget look like? What are the activities that you need to, focus on so that it is considered gender responsive? And I like how specific these projects are. Yes. But I want to hear from John. John, we've had, even in the news, members of a particular community vividly reject projects. And if you have gone through sociology or learning how societies work, I want to understand how then we're able to speak your language. And are your people responsive? Are they getting ownership of this project so that at the end of the day, the UN, the ministry, and of course, the rest of the stakeholders, our partners, do not feel wasted? How is it going?
Yeah, thank you so much. One of the things is communities, they normally adopt projects based on a perceived benefit. And that is the principle which we are using here. So these communities already, they are having a challenge because they are in our areas. And as a result, they are affected by climate change. So the project came, we did a lot of sensitization and we mobilized the communities. And as a result of this mobilization, there are tools which we normally use. And these tools are to ensure these communities come out with the issues which normally be there for them. And as a result of this, we normally develop a project to address those field needs. As a result of this, then you realize the technologies which are normally passed on to these communities are technologies which are coming to address their specific needs. As a result of that, of course, they adopt it so well. Now, this project, especially as we speak on it, it has really touched lives. It has changed the lives of communities, especially women.
So we have success stories.
We have very good success stories. Right now, as we speak here, there are women who can comfortably sit on the decision-making table. We have trained them on coming up with memoranda. And they have developed this memoranda, and they have taken during public participation to say, yes, this is what we want in our ward. During the third generation CIDP, they participated in ensuring their voice is in the CIDPs. During the annual development plans, They have ensured they are there. And therefore, we did a lot of sensitization. We did a lot of trainings. As a result of this, the communities have adopted the project, and they are really enjoying it because money has been put on their pockets.
Of course, you invest in what you want to reap from. I'll be taking closing remarks. It's a very interesting conversation. So interesting, we hope we wouldn't close it. But I want to go a bit deeper into the gender. And the project seeks to reach about 2,400 farmers, if I'm correct, 1,920 women, 480 men. All right. I'm also looking at some very key information, approximately a total of 12,000 beneficiaries in the 3 targeted counties. This is good, Luciana. But what would you say to these numbers? I mean, sometimes Kenyans question if their homes will be reached. How do we ensure that the target is not, skewed?
Okay, thank you. Because this was the starting point.
Yes.
Of course, you have to start small, and then once you assess and find that it is really working out for us, then we can find ways of extending and also involving more partners who can implement it in other areas. And then the neighboring communities, they are seeing what their neighbors are doing and they have benefited. Then there's that one-on-one interaction between the women themselves. They will go and teach practically others how to do kitchen gardenings, what they have learned, the technologies. They have started even, selling it out to the entire community.
We want to come to the ground.
Yes.
And see what's happening, have it shown to the viewers, and just not have a conversation. But my time has run out. We really appreciate your presence here and talking to the Kenyans. Elizabeth Obanda, who is the team leader, Women Economic Empowerment, UN Women at the UN Women. John Mutua, CEO, Anglican Development Services of Eastern. Also with us is Luciana Ndila, the Director, State Department of Gender. I know we are, of course, exiting, but what are your closing remarks? Just so that Kenyans know that we're still ongoing. I'll start with Elizabeth. What would be your last remarks in this conversation?
First of all, just to say thank you for the opportunity to be here and to speak about the program. And 2, to say the climate is changing and women need information and women need technologies. One of the best things that has happened in this program is the provision of technologies that reduce the burden of the woman.
Right.
So, for instance, threshers that have been provided to women who produce mango beans, in dengus, so that, and a woman is able to say that instead of spending a whole week threshing a whole bag of dengu, I can do it in one day. So reducing the burden of the woman, the awareness of the policy-making processes so that they're part of it and they're able to influence the resources that the county has. I think for me this is excellent. The other thing that we've done very well also, this program has done very well, is the use of radio. Local radio in local language, to speak the language of the people and explain to them what is happening.
And the power to the media.
Absolutely, the power of media. And the beauty about popular theatre, which ADSC uses, to speak to the community. You can see, when you see the women and the men laughing and dancing and speaking about the program, it's excellent. So appropriate methodologies of reaching men and women, persons with a disability, and those left behind. I think that is one thing that this program has done, and we want to scale this so that we are able to reach more people. And thank you for these opportunities for us to come and speak about it.
And we hope to have you more. Yes, John, your closing remarks?
Yeah, thank you so much, Agent. I want to echo what my sister said. We really want to appreciate the opportunity which has been given to us to talk to Kenyans on what is happening. The so-called little efforts can give out huge fruits. For example, like the technologies which we are working with the women down there, technologies like ZIPITs. When a ZIPIT technology is applied, I remember when we had minimal rainfall, not the one which passed, the other one, people in Kitui harvested, and it's because of the application of these technologies. Many people might think we need a tractor, but these small technologies, they really help those women. When you go and sit down with them, the kitchen gardens, how they have improved their livelihoods and the nutrition, you will wonder. The gala goats, you will wonder how they have changed their economic well-being. When you look at technologies like FIASLA, Village Savings and Loaning Associations, women are in a position to come, meet, get money, and the men have now agreed for the women so that they can also come together and actually both of them are making their livelihood better. So thank you so much for the opportunity. We are looking forward to continuing telling our people in terms of what can happen because climate is changing and climate change is real.
And now we're having a climate smart approach. Let me hear your last remarks, Luciana, to this point.
Thank you very much for this opportunity too. We are very glad in it and we really, really appreciate. What I want to say is any project that does not consider the issues of gender, the interest of the women and the persons with disability and the special interest groups, it is doomed to not succeed. And we have seen it practically. The reason there is a lot of progress is because we considered the needs of the women and they had us say, right from the planning, implementation, evaluation, and they have testified how the project has lifted them down from there. And I know and I witnessed when we started with them, they were just like village women, not well-fed, but now they are very healthy, very smart, very clean. And their men are also very happy. So I want to tell the men not to have those stereotypes because they tie the potentials of women. Not to fear empowered women, because they bring development, and not challenge their space as men.
Thank you very much, Luciana. And of course, that is the conversation today. Very important. I hope you didn't miss it. You can catch it also on YouTube and our social media platforms. But next time, don't miss the live one. It has been on the Kenya Economic Empowerment of Women through the Climate Smart Agriculture. Remember, you don't have to work hard sometimes. You have to work smart. But this time, be climate smart in agriculture. My name is Anki Doris Sombat. Remember, at the heart of the nation is the woman. And as you take care of Mother Nature, remember to take care of the women. Have a good afternoon. Coming up is the business news.